faking? Because I'm seeing a lot of chains. I don't know if they fake or real.
They fake. They always been fake. We just didn't know it.
Oh, okay. See what I mean?
Jake the jeweler, all them. How many blacks do you know that are entrepreneurs in jewelry? How do you know a real diamond when you see it?
I really don't.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle, big.
Check it. It's Unique Hustle. It's your boy, ECO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing, official Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
Nothing on my day walk on. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. When I mean all, I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. You name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We'll pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But y'all see us in the streets and talk about, man, I love what y'all doing. Keep up the good work. How can we be a part of Boss Talk? This is how you can be a part of Boss Talk. Under each and every interview, including this one right here in the description section below, there is a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions, and that's how you get to see all the exclusive content. Y'all been asking us, where's this interview, where's that interview? You got to be a member to see it, or go ahead and download our app at Boss Talk 101 on any Apple or Google store. Thank you, and we love you.
Hey, guys, listen, man. We got a guy in here today. This guy has been on the show. He always come through and tell us what's really going down. I can't wait to talk to him today. Y'all been asking for him. He back. My guy, OG Pyru is in the building. He here.
In the house.
He here.
Come on.
He here. He just flew in. Just touched down.
And brought the rain with me.
Whoa, just touched down.
Brought the rain too.
So how you doing, man?
Man, I'm doing anybody I can.
Whoa, that ain't what I asked you.
Okay,
don't start that stuff
you say,
already.
How am I doing?
Yeah.
I'm doing anybody I can.
Oh, Lord, man.
Soft was twice.
No.
Something like it all.
Oh, whoa, man.
Just saying.
OG, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. I'm finna stop putting you on my show so much because everybody love you so much you taking over. I don't understand. I got to make them like somebody else because you is the only thing they asking for, man. How come these people love you so much?
They don't. They just like my hooping and hollering. Now, I bet you if we got a GoFundMe to help the Ayatollah out, we wouldn't get a nickel.
OG, we selling those OG, are you there hoodies?
We selling.
They ain't sold.
We ain't sold none. They love me.
And they're supposed to be for the holidays. This is the holidays for November and December. They're supposed to be buying these damn hoodies.
They better hurry up and get them.
Again, man, what is the magnetic thing, man? I mean, you know, if I ask you a question right now, this is what they like to hear. Let me see what I can ask you. I ask you anything, man. What happened to the rap money?
What happened to
rappers is not making the money like they used to. They chains getting bigger. They wearing them CZ chains is what I'm hearing. Mm-hmm. And the music, even Snoop Dogg said that the streaming is not paying what the record sales used to get. Is this a problem or are they just faking? Because I'm seeing a lot of chains. I don't know if they fake or real.
They fake. They always been fake. We just didn't know it.
Oh, okay. See what I mean?
Jake the jeweler, all them. How many blacks do you know that are entrepreneurs in jewelry? How do you know a real diamond when you see it?
I really don't.
You don't. You do. One of the most prolific times is Busta Rhymes got some jewelry from Jake the jeweler, right?
Right.
And he came to California and Magic and Dowd them jacked him. Took all. He had the big New York and had the globe on it, and they took it to pawn and it wasn't worth a nickel.
What?
He didn't pay $100,000 and $200,000 to Jake the jeweler for Yank jewelry.
You know, that's something I heard Charlamagne say. He said, "Man, I ain't buying no real jewelry. They don't know if it's real."
Yeah. Who know? Ain't nobody know. You know.
And the testers, I'm hearing that he can pass the test.
These new, what we called them zircons at the time, the new jewelry they got, this man-made diamonds, it'll pass the diamond test. You think this is real?
Yeah.
It is.
All right. I'm lying. He got that money. OG got it.
No. There's so much glass it'll cut you to death.
OG, so, I mean, you've been out here protecting and doing details with guys who might have on fake jewelry. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Do they tell you that it's fake jewelry, or they have you trying to protect?
They don't know. They think it's real too. At the time, it's just like you're talking about the music, and we talked about that earlier, and the artists being artistry. Most of the youngsters that came up, they didn't come up in a culture of money.
No.
50 said when he first got his first deal, that boy Damien Dash told him $1 million wasn't no money.
That's real.
Man, I'm feeling good. And here this nigga will come in. I said, man, I got a deal for $1 million. And dude tell him, that ain't no money. But to him, it was the biggest thing happen. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you have these artists that get a $250,000 check. You don't know what to do with his mother. Them father ain't seen that kind of money in their entire lifetime. So you're spending, you think it's going to go on forever. But everything has an expiration date. So they had this money because they didn't know that in recoup, the majors have you going in the studio. You go in the studio, you stay in the studio from 6 in the evening till 6 in the morning, BS and playing, smoking weed and this, and you find out that they just charged you $30,000 for that session. Mm-hmm. And it comes out of your money.
Wow. Rick Ross was called out. Me and you talked about this a while back for wearing a Adonis Piguet Royal Oak Emerald watch. It was fake. I said, as only 2 genuine versions existed and are owned by others, he was also criticized for other watches in his collection being aftermarket or not genuine. Ross responded by calling the critic a piglet and defending his collection. No, wait a minute. So Rosé watch ends up being a fake. I remember us talking about this. How did this happen to a guy who owns all these chicken houses and all this stuff? Is it what you were just saying earlier? He just don't understand what he buying?
Let me say this to you, bro. What the collector, the professional say wasn't but 2 of them made. Those originals. Everything after that is a copy, a fake. If you don't have the first Rolex watch, I don't care how much you paid for it, it's a copy.
It's a replica.
It's a replica. Ain't nothing original but number 1.
Wow.
So everything that you have is a replica of something else. It's not the real, I got a real Rolex watch, and it's a fake. Made in China, probably.
Well, so if you, hypothetically, because I know you've had millions of dollars, we all heard the story.
No, I haven't.
You had millions of dollars and you were spending money, and hypothetically, would you, in these day and times, go out and spend a large amount of cash? Because everybody, you got to have your watch game right when you first get out.
No. It's not hypothetically. Realistically, that's why they say hindsight is 20/20 vision.
Yeah. Would you?
I would never buy anything. The first $1 million I get this time, I'm buying property. Because a man is not a man unless he owns property. All of this stuff is replaceable. These are perishable goods. Everything that I bought from 1978 to 1980, the feds everybody took it back, and I was broke by 1980.
Is that how you lost all your money, or did you lose it by investing not appropriately, like the spending on all sorts of crap?
Well, no, I'm a what they call a frugal type of person. Mm-hmm. I don't spend over $20 for sex. I don't care how much money I got. And nothing that I spend all my money, the majority of my money, of my dope money, I spend lawyer fees, bondsman. I went from a $1,500 bond on my first.
You bought cars too.
And your point is what?
So you spent, that's a big purchase.
No, it's not. At the time in 1978, a brand new Seville was $25,000. A lawyer was a $50,000 retainer.
Wow. I
went from bail starting at $1,500 to having a $150,000 bond. And like you was talking about, I'm having 3-4 bonds at a time, bailing out, catching other cases. So I got 4 cases at $150,000 a bond. Then I come to Texas and get arrested out here. Cost me $750,000 to get out. So I just wiped off over $1 million in bonds and lawyer fees. and then go to prison for 10 years. Add that, I should just went to prison, huh?
You're right.
So hindsight is 20/20 vision. So a lot of times I remember my artist, we went into Warner Brothers, man, he was a sensation. His uncle was Glenn Goins of Parliament Funkadelic. Came in there, man, they was loving him. He was spending and spending and spending right out.
Damn.
And when they dropped him, he was broke. And he's like, damn, how'd that happen?
Wow.
But you understood the music, but you didn't understand the music business.
Okay. Who could you name a person that came into money and actually kept that money and kept it growing and never lost it? Have any of these millionaires, billionaires ever not lost their money to come back up? Just like even dope dealers
Smokey
lose
Robinson.
So he's made his money from the first time he made money. He never ever lost it all to come back up.
I don't know. I never slept with Smokey, so I don't know.
No, but you hear these people's stories though.
But Smokey was on crack cocaine. He went through all the trials and tribulations, but he manifested himself to come back in. You look at Charlie Wilson.
So when he was on crack cocaine, did he ever like squander it, like lose all of his money?
Anytime you spend $50,000 or $60,000 on drugs, you're squandering money, don't you think?
Yeah, but did he lose it all, or
his talent. And one of the things that Barry Gordy did for him had him a lifetime job with not Warner Brothers, Universal with Motown Records. He gave him and Stevie Wonder a lifetime position when he sold out. And they're the only two that maintained it for all that time. Mm-hmm. And right now today, Smokey Robinson is 83 years old, and they're putting him up on sex charges. So the devil never ceases.
Right.
So when you say who's successful, look at, in this dispensation, we talked earlier, look at Snoop. Snoop went in as a business situation. Mm-hmm. He was on death row. He was never a pyro. He was never he was an artist dealing with a business. So when they took something personal, he didn't have a dog in that fight. Man, I'm a Long Beach Crip. Y'all doing this with the East Coast. And then he came and got up under a man with a Master P, went and talked to Suge and bought him out. And Master P showed him a whole different part of business. And look at him. Everybody that got kicked off of death row, look at him now. What Dre doing? What Snoop doing? What Suge doing?
Yeah, because I always hear about these stories about, whether dope dealers or, just millionaires. And you always hear the struggles that they go through, and they always lose it and then come back up, lose it and then come back up.
A man told me.
But it ain't just dope dealers.
No, that's what I say, even billionaires too.
T. Cullen Davis, who's one of the richest men in terms of oil billionaire, and had put a contract on a judge. And he told me in Harris County Jail, he said, Casey, everybody have action at spending $1 million. But the real winners will lose it all and get back.
That's the real winner.
The real winners. And somebody will lose their money and be on drugs and are crying and be downtown and talk about used to be my girl. But it's some that just get right back up, push their shit and ride it out.
Ride it all the way
and
out.
Be survivors. And next thing you know, with patience and enduring, you become a winner. The scripture says that there's one that will not even cross the lake of fire. And then you will have he, O ye of little faith, will get right into the middle and stop and burn. Only the chosen will make it all the way through.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Wow. So this success is not for everybody. Everybody ain't supposed to win.
When you think about all of the times that you was doing security and you was traveling and you was doing the things that you were doing, has the procedure changed because of the climate and the way people are moving now, or does that always remain the same? security, does it change the way you have to secure the premises?
You can tell how security changes by the arrest of their primaries. It's no way in the heck I'm supposed to be your security and you go to jail and I don't.
Wow.
That defeats the purpose. What you need me for?
I haven't been seeing no security go to jail.
Huh? Ain't seen none. Because now you're paying me $50, $100 an hour, and I'm not taking no. You get caught with a gun in the car. I'm supposed to take that case.
No, they don't take their case.
Then no, they don't. But that's your responsibility. The primary, I remember one time, Don King, when Mike was coming from New York and Mike was riding the motorcycle and he fell off the motorcycle and he cracked his ribs. And Don King says, man, how did he break his ribs and y'all didn't break yours? Because if he's not around, y'all don't eat. That's the man that's paying your bills every day. I'm paying you to think for him. So if you're thinking for yourself, what do you need me for?
That's real.
I'm the stunt dummy. I'm going to take a lick for you because I can depend on you bailing me out. I can't bail you out.
Wow. That's crazy that you basically, you look at the way people are moving now and they've kind of degraded. When you look at Honeycomb Brazy and the security, he ended up going to prison for that. And you look up and see Boosie right now, and Boosie ended up going to prison or have admitted to some charges because the security say, it ain't my gun.
Doing NOI security for the limits from NOI security from the 86 to almost the 2000s, when NOI, the Nation of Islam, had security for celebrities, we didn't lose one.
Not one.
Not one. On the Nation detail, not one was arrested, not one was killed. As soon as we were taken off the detail, everybody started falling on.
Wow. And you seen it.
Watching it.
So you knew that day when Puff Daddy and them, we talked about, when they say, we don't need y'all help.
We don't need you. Puffy said and told Captain Shaheed, nah, Shah, I got this. And LAPD walked up on him and like, yeah, Shaheed Muhammad, we're detecting. The same police that's talking about that Poochie did the killing, he was one on the detail.
Wow. Wow. So
when they pulled us off of Pac, wasn't a month later, Pac dead.
A month later.
1 month later, 2 months maybe.
2 months at the best.
Yes.
Wow. Man, OG, I'm telling you now, when I look at the things that's going on now, the people, a lot of people try to, and you always say this, the fake Mike or the real Mike. I'm going into Michael Jackson again. You'll say, basically a lot of people have come on my platform. They try to compare Chris Brown to Michael Jackson. When it comes to star status, when it comes to performance, this is something they was doing. Now, Chris Brown, I don't think would ever do that. It's not only him. I had a guy to come in here and compare T-Pain to Michael Jackson.
Okay.
I just can't see how they...
that was just like people compared Prince to Michael Jackson.
That's different.
Now, it's no comparison.
That's different.
It's the same thing.
It's different. Because they was running, they was performing at the same time, dealing with the same type of people, dealing with the same crowds. Prince was a musician that played instruments. Mike was a performer that outperformed Prince.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
Okay. Michael Jackson never made a movie, so he didn't perform that well.
He made a thriller that was just as good as a movie.
He did a video
that was longer than every other video.
He did a video, and he was the lion in Oz?
Yeah, he was.
He was the lion, the heartless lion.
Wasn't he the Tin Man?
The Tin Man that didn't have a heart. He never had any serious roles, bro. Dancing, he was a dancer. And
Michael Jackson or Prince?
Michael Jackson.
Wow.
See that?
She from Jamaica. She don't know nothing.
Majority of people in this world is gonna say Michael Jackson over Prince.
The majority of the people in the world at one time said the world was flat. So we don't care what the majority says.
Why do you pick Prince over Michael Jackson?
Because if you look at the relevance of his, I look at an artist, a performer. If you don't reproduce yourself, you just masturbating. Show me one person that Michael Jackson made through his count. I can show you Abalonia, I can show you Sheila E., I can show you the multitude. Prince was so dynamic that he let, what's the boy name, do the bird?
Morris Day.
Morris Day. He made Morris Day look like the hero. Anytime you can set yourself up and make me look better than you, like you say, people on this show, this your show. I'm a +1.
No,
but everybody is saying, oh yeah, I couldn't do none of this. I robbed banks. The hell. So when you look at it, when a person has the vision to make you look good, Michael could, after he finished doing what he was doing after they cloned him, he couldn't even make his family look good.
You hear him say after they cloned him?
I just said that, but I'm gonna say it again. But he wouldn't even perform with his family. The Jackson 5 was no more after Michael.
Let me just be honest. Let me make you understand who Michael was. Michael Jackson is the one who pretty much really made the Jackson 5 group what it was. The way he performed. Of course, his daddy was the one that was conveying and helping push it. But Michael Jackson stood out as a child.
Yes.
Michael Jackson, every phase of Mike, even living off the wall. Mm-hmm. You know, I want to rock with you all night. When you start to see these phases of Michael Jackson, you start to see other artists around him develop. Right? People will tell you, Usher gonna tell you, if it was not for Mike, I would not have a career. Chris Brown knows already. He'll tell you, this guy inspired me. Michael was so dynamic that he inspired so many. I don't even want to go there on all the people he inspired.
Usher even said that James Brown inspired him.
No. Usher says Michael inspired him.
Okay.
Well, that was his motivative. Anybody, if y'all get in the comments, who do y'all think inspired Usher?
The most.
Old lady.
Because they both inspired him, but who inspired him the most?
Okay, the most. It's going to be Mike. Mike was so different. He sold so many records. Nobody outsold Mike. Prince ain't outsell Mike.
Okay. But Prince outsold Mike in his integrity. Mike he had a white daddy. Prince
did too.
No, he didn't. That's why they killed him.
That was after he made a name out of symbol to get out of the deal.
No, he didn't make the name.
Yes, he did.
He did not make it to get out. He made the name of the symbol because when Disney contracted him for 5 albums, he went to them with a box. I wasn't there, allegedly. He went to them with a box and said, pick 5 albums out of here. They said, no, we want you to work for 3 years. Wait a minute, that wasn't part of the deal. The deal is for 3 years for 5 albums. I brought you 5 albums. I said, oh no, we got your name, Prince, under contract here. So he said, okay, you keep the name. I'm not Prince anymore. I'm the symbol. And he put slave on the side of his face. And he worked those 3 years off. And when he was freed himself, he's the most dynamic. Has Michael ever done? He sold more records at one time than any other artist, because what he did, when you went to a concert, when you bought one of his albums, went to the store and bought an album, you got a ticket to his concert. He's the first one started that.
Michael Jackson sold way more than him.
Okay, yeah, he did. For white people's money, he didn't keep it. Prince kept his own money.
Michael kept his money until he died.
No, he didn't. He
bought the Beatles catalog. Michael was a very astute entrepreneur.
White America brought the catalog under his name. Who has it now? It's not the Jacksons. So if Michael bought it as a Jackson, shouldn't it go to the Jacksons? But it's not. What's the name of the the organization that had him on tour. Come on, you know.
AEG Live?
AEG Live, yeah. AEG Music Group.
Yeah, he ain't ready for no, man. Listen, man, let me tell you something about Michael Jackson.
AEG. His supposedly children right now is suing the beneficiaries for inappropriation of their funds of those being the conservatives over Michael Jackson's estate. $400 and some million that they say that they squandered, that when they each of the beneficiaries on the initial took $10 million to their own personal accounts. Now, Princess Paris, the supposedly daughter, has got with a group and they're suing their beneficiaries to get back, and they're going to court right now that she has all the paperwork that how they squandered off these millions and skimmed off the top. Mm-hmm. And that she's saying one of their allegations is that they made these investments, that the investments that were supposed to pay off, if they had made the proper investments, they would have made $41 million.
Wow.
So they're having white influencers doing white things.
White influencers doing the right things.
You know, so when we talk about Michael Jackson, he's a basic character. He's a little dude. He can't even read music. He can't play an instrument. He didn't even know he had stuff in his mind. And Quincy Jones told him, he like, bruh, here's a recorder. When you think of something, you just say it and bring it to me, and I'll make this for you. Mm-hmm. Prince didn't have to do that. Prince created stuff. I'm created. He's the creator. He makes boss talk. I talk. There's a difference. Mr. Farrakhan said one time it was a marksman. And this marksman, everybody knew that this marksman was a top shot. And he got with this individual and he says, look, we can go to these towns and we can make a profit. You're a good draw. The somatics is good, but you can't aim worth a dang. And every time they would go on the show, he would bring out his guns, he'd whip them around, and he'd point, and the marksman would hit the target in the bushes, in the back. And everybody was amazed at this guy, that this guy could shoot so well. And he lived a lie for so long. And one day, he got bigger than himself. And he told the marksman, hold back, I got this. Mm-mm. And when he came out, shot everywhere but it put the target. So it comes out who you really are.
Right.
So sometimes you can perceive, and America can make you believe that this is, but man, look at most of our heroes that were elected for us by white America. Once they woke up, they got killed or indicted.
Wow.
Or put away. J. Edgar Hoover said we will not allow a Messiah in the black community.
Wow. Wow.
So when we talk about Prince and we talk about Michael Jackson, and that's the same problem I had with Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder did all this amazing stuff, but who did he procreate?
Stevie Wonder helped a lot of people.
Who else? Name me one
blind,
artist.
Man.
Name. She done more blind. You got all your sight, and we ain't done none of this.
He's blind. He can play that harmonic.
From fingertips.
That nigga playing that thing, man.
Playing it.
Talented.
Got some children he won't even let in the music business.
He don't want them dealing with it.
Man, that's selfish.
He probably just don't want them in it.
He protecting them.
No, he ain't.
From all the foolishness.
And I'm gonna tell you something. I'm glad you brought that up. I want to just really let you understand something.
Let me understand.
And I want you to hear me and hear me roar. My guy he get picked 144. Shador Sanders, 144. The season is midway through, almost people are 8-2 now. It's been 10 games played and all this good stuff. This week, after he went in last week for his first time with the starting lineup when one quarterback went down. This week, after going in 144, he get to start for the Cleveland Browns. This week, he get to start. He's going to be coming out with the first string, and they're looking to see, after they done pretty much let him in at 144, now he get to show and display.
And your point is what?
What do you think about that? Is that pretty good?
No, it's not, because he made more money sitting on the bench than the starting quarterback making on his team. Why would I want to play? No, don't put me in, coach. Sell my T-shirts, coach.
At a risk of even being injured, right?
At the risk of me even doing it, no, let me eat some honey buns. I'm good, coach.
They had started off with another number, and then they changed him to 12. He was making too much money.
So no matter what it is, at 144 draft pick that you said, draft, Dodger, whatever the hell it is, because I rob banks. I don't care nothing about sports.
144
so for your epiphany that he's getting ready.
He's getting ready to start this week.
I wouldn't even start. I'd fake an injury. I got a cold. Because you know what America is looking for?
What?
His downfall. I was listening to somebody was talking about it, and I meant to talk to you about that. And they were talking about, what's the boy name that got sent to prison for the dog fighting?
Michael Vick.
Michael Vick. They were talking about Michael Vick, and I think it was Elway. And the dude says, when Elway throw a pass, they say, look at that pass, beautiful, look at that pass, beautiful pass. Say when Mike Vick threw one, they say beautiful catch. He don't got nothing to do with
it. All about perception, ain't it?
Yeah, so when the white boy did it, it was a hell of a pass. But when the black man did it, it was a hell of a catch.
Why do you try to always make stuff black and white?
That's what life is. You try to make it red and blue. Still black and white.
Oh, geez.
Beautiful catch.
That what it is?
Hell of a pass.
So you say you don't agree with Shedeur being excited about getting out there to play? He worked his whole life. You see how happy he was when they picked him at 144. He just
wasn't
wanted to
that
play.
Happy.
Yes, he was. He danced and everything.
He danced putting on a show because he should have been number 1, number 2, number 3 draft pick. 144 didn't mean nothing to him. But with his dad, he had a plan. So no matter what it is, long as you have a plan, no matter, it's about your talent. It's about who you are. Once you're comfortable, I don't care if they drop me, like you said, in Egypt. I'm going to be all right.
That's just what that is.
That's just a survival status. Some people is just like that. Now, he's excited about being a player because he's an athlete. He was born like that from his father. And it's sometimes to your detriment. Yeah, just got to play. But it ain't like they ain't sizing him up and have one of them tackles break something on him. Listen, we're going to give you an extra $200,000. Make sure you break something on. We don't care about the penalty. You think I would risk that? So you don't think they would do that? You're seeing what white America would do.
I don't look at black and white.
Yeah, you do.
No, I'm blinded to that. I'm trying to make America great again.
It's going to be great again.
When was it great the first time?
Yeah,
I was just thinking about it.
Yeah. When was it great the first time? It was great. It was great for us when we knew who the enemy was. That's the greatness. See, when you know.
Wow.
So, okay, I got to ask. It says here, many argue that life after incarceration is just another prison due to social stigma and legal restrictions. Do you agree with this sentiment? Do you feel that, because many come out of prison and try to get jobs and so forth and say, because of my felony, I'm not allowed to get this job, not get that job. You can't carry a gun, you can't vote, you can't this, you can't that. But I see some people who come out and with start their own business and be very successful. Why do you have those who come out and get in such a slump and feel like I can't this is just a thing on my back. I can't get this off. I can't get nowhere. Do you agree with that?
Why do people on the street feel like they can't get a job and go on welfare and they never been to prison? What slump is that? So you have a percentage of winners and a bigger percent of losers. So it's just not the prison profiteering is just following the norm of what society is. So now, I never went to prison or juvenile hall thinking about I'm going to get out and get on with. I've always had a hustle. If you're even working, I start working until I can get a better plan.
So do you feel like it's an excuse that people are using when they come out of prison and say they can't get anywhere, they can't get a job?
No, it's not an excuse. It's a reality. It's a reality. They have a chosen few or some people that they pick that can get this. And it's winners and losers. Some people are natural. I was just talking to a lady earlier, and she was telling me about the great things that Tyler Perry did and what he's doing for blacks. And he's going into the colleges. Well, they already college students. They gonna be winners anyway, So you helping somebody that's already helping themselves. But have you been to the hood for these kids that ain't never done nothing and put something on them? You're making these movies with boys kissing boys, girls kissing girls. So that's a bigger harm than the little $2 or $3 you done gave for 500 students in a college.
Oh, mama.
So when you tell me about what you've done more damage to your community than you've done assisting it. So when you come to the prisons, these guys are in development of not being able to cope with society. They don't learn anything different inside incarceration. They don't give them no job skills, or most of the antiquated job skills that they get, you can't get them. You have to go to school to be a laborer. You can't do this. And, you have a record. So I go to school for 7 months and, I got my CDLs. But it's certain loads you can't carry because you're a felon. So it's limited, but we have to understand that, like I tell people, it's not playing the game, it's understanding the rules to the game. So being a felon one thing that Donald Trump has showed everybody,
what?
I don't care what kind of felon, you may not can get a job, but you can be president. Mm-hmm. Shit, you know what I'm saying?
But why were these rules put in place for, because I would think that it just depends on what crime you did, but they don't put it at depending on what crime. They just say you're a felon, so you just can't get this, you can't get that. But
they don't
depend on what
and
crime?
Most applications, they don't even ask you. It used to be, have you committed a felony? Mm-hmm. Now they ask, have you ever been arrested? Have you ever been arrested? Now, if you don't, I can hire you and I find out you've been arrested, that's cause to fire you. Mm-hmm. So now, once I tell you, I was arrested, but this didn't happen, now it gives me a discretion. Mm-hmm. So the loopholes are against you, and it's black and white. Because let me give you some statistics here about prison. It says here that black individuals are approximately 28% of the California prison population. Mm-hmm. Hispanics are 48%. Whites are 20%. But blacks in California, we're not but 6% of the population. But we're 28% of incarceration, right? On death row, blacks comprise 32.9% of blacks on death row. Whites are 30.6%. Mexicans and Hispanics serve up another 20%. But still, the black population in California ain't but 6%.
Right.
So we have a disproportionate of how we go with prison incarceration, dealing with slavery again. And I just had a call from some dudes like, well, Marv, you act like all of us is broke in prison. No, you hustling like you hustling on the street. Yeah, you got busted with $500,000 worth of drugs, but they confiscated your car. They took your mama's house. They took your bank accounts. And then they gave you a fine for $500,000.
Didn't have nothing to show for it at the end.
So now here you're in prison. Any money you get sent, you have to send it to somebody else, because if your family send you any money, they take the percentage off of it for your fine. So you're forced to do some kind of hustling or go broke in prison. So your crime still did not pay off for you. In the time that I did in prison, if I had to hustle cans, I would have had more money than I made out of prison. So we have to understand the dynamics on what you place on your life. I remember this girl told me one time, she says, man, I told her we could get together and I could help you pay your house note on your house. Oh, I don't have a for rent sign on. Why would I do that? She's like, well, you know, we could be together, but you got 2 babies by 2 other men, and they didn't buy you a house. So why would I? Well, I never ask a man for money. But that was your first mistake. My grandmother said, why pay for the milk when you get the cow for free? So if you don't have a priority on your life, and that's what we're doing with our children, giving them a false sense of worth. With all this bling bling, and we talked earlier about, you said buy some shoes out of Walmart, and I was disgusted. But they're just shoes, huh?
Yeah.
But if it's not Pumas, if it's not designer, I don't want it.
Let me ask you something, man. You just said something about prison, but Max B did over 15 years in prison. He comes home. He met a girl before he got out. Now they just got engaged. Max B's living on the top of his life right now. Him and French Montana, that group, man. Shout out to them guys. But he asked for a hand in marriage. What's the percentile of people that you would think that get married after they meet somebody in prison and come home and it works out for them? Is that a high percentage, you think?
No, it's not a high percentage. It's a small percentage. But you're saying that Max B, he got out, French Montana was there. You got a support system.
Everybody was ready for
my
it.
success is not just me. My mother was at home for me.
Yeah, yeah.
I had a support system. Everything, I had every process to be great, and I wasn't. Everything was laid there for me to be great. To be a Messy Jesse Jackson or Shitty Sharpton. I could have been that. But I wanted to be a gangster. How'd that work out? But by the foundation that my family laid for me, I was able to recreate myself. Not that I'm the best in the world, but I'm doing okay. You know what I'm saying? So most people, blacks, we don't have that foundation. You have to get out from nothing. Like you say, get it out the mud.
So Max B he's not a high statistic of somebody.
He's an anomaly. He's not a regular convict getting out of jail after 15 years. He got out, people threw, like they used to do in the old, they threw stuff at him.
He had diamonds, golds, Louis Vuitton store. He was going everywhere. He's still going right now.
Most dudes get out of prison, go to the parole office, and the parole officer, well, what are you planning on doing, man? Look, today in California, they tell a convict, go down to the county office and get GR. That's an insult. And you can get you some food stamps, and they can put you up. And I become comfortable with that.
So that's why I'm going to ask you. In Texas, they give you, they used to give you $200, then it went down lower than that. How much money do they give you when you get out of prison in California?
It was $200.
Yeah.
They would give you $200. Now they give you $200. And if you don't have any clothes, if you take the state clothes that you've been wearing for 15 or 20 years, they charge you for it. If you need a ride home, the bus, when they used to buy you a bus ticket, you got to buy your own bus ticket. So by the time you get home, you ain't got $200. You got $1.47 left from leaving out with $200 gate money.
Damn.
So they find a way to suck the life out of you.
Damn.
Do you think we should have prisons?
Yes, we need prisons. Prisons are needed. But we have to have understanding the justifications of why we have it's just like we need police. What would we be without police?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what would this system be like if we just was able to run rapid?
What do you think? Because since you're a person that's been to prison multiple times, and you've seen
Multiple times?
She makes it sound so good, don't she?
You've seen the injustices and everything like that, and and the reason why we need it, the things that needs to be changed. What things do you say that needs to be changed in the prison systems to make it be a more of an effective place for rehabilitation, as they say?
Well, America found out rehabilitation don't work. I came up through rehabilitation in the 60s and the 70s, right? Under rehabilitation, I was afforded to get a college degree, a medical degree, a barber's license. And they found out you're setting somebody in these prisons that are getting educated. George Jackson got educated in prison. Death Row Jeff got educated in prison. Matt Dillon got educated. Doc Holliday got educated because we found out that them books that they was giving you, they say, if you give a man a book, you can make him understand what life is about. Mm-hmm. I never knew nothing about Russia or the Sphinx or Apollo's dynasties, I started reading books and started reading the apologies and started reading stuff that took me in other countries right there in that cell. And I broadened my understanding. It was a time that I believe it was nothing better than Compton, California. Mm-hmm. Compton was my life, that 10 square miles. A guy by the name of Joe Louis Sturgis out of Lake Charles, Louisiana, New Orleans. Him and his crime partner came out to one of their homeboys that stole some drugs from him, and they came out and they killed him. Him and Curly. And he said, Quincy, I was looking at Compton, and man, I seen on the almanac that y'all ain't but 10 square miles. Mm-hmm. It's 250 y'all in here for murder. I thought Compton was big as China. He said, but boy, why do y'all shit where you eat at? Mm-hmm. Wow. I said, what are you talking about? He said, when you get out, where you going? I said, Compton. He said, bro, when I get out of here, I'm going back to Louisiana. Ain't no parole back there. Why is you going back to somewhere where you got convicted? Mm-hmm. And it put an impression on my life. Why am I committing crime where I live at? That's just like selling dope in a house you live in.
Mm-hmm. What's the freshest start for a person getting out of prison when they messed up with their family and they been down there and they've been gone for a while, hadn't really contact? Do they get out and try to ask for forgiveness from their family if they feel like they done them wrong, or if they felt like they was done wrong for their family?
Well, I don't see how you can ask for forgiveness. I feel like
now this is for the kids too.
No, I'm saying, and forgiveness, that's temporal. Just because I say, oh, I'm sorry. Do you know how long white America been saying sorry to black people and ain't shit changed? We really apologize. It'd be on the phone, you call about a bill being paid or just shit. Well, I'm really sorry. Well, how in the hell is you sorry and you not correcting this? Well, the system, they put it on the system. So the biggest thing that you can do in incarceration is most people get out trying to make up for lost time. Time is so valuable to you that you can't let nobody waste your time, because time is something that you can never get back. You have to start off from right here. And I was telling one of my partners earlier, man, for 10 years, I spent $20 a month in prison. Mm-hmm. I got $20 a month in the hole. I could only spend $20 a month. Now, I get on the street and I got to have a pocket full of money but I don't know what's going on in the street.
Did they have re-entry programs or anything like that?
Yes,
you guys, when I'm talking in the 70s and stuff.
That's what made it great. That's what gave you the up. They had re-entry programs. They had colleges. They had different programs.
So that was happening more back then.
Yeah, that was rehabilitation. And then 1980, hey, hell with rehabilitation, let's just do punishment.
So they just threw it out the door.
Threw it out the door.
It says here, the first prisons were created in 1773.
That ain't what the Bible say. Wasn't Joseph put in prison?
That's right.
They called that something else. They didn't call that a prison.
They threw him in a tomb, in a hole, by itself.
Dungeon is what they called it back
dungeon,
then.
yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they didn't call it a prison. Prison is more of a newer form word.
Okay.
But they said here in 1557, it says the first prison in the world considered to be the first correctional facility for long-term punishment was Bridewell Prison in England, and that opened in 1557.
Right. Okay. I believe that. But it all started in England. And it's just like slavery. But when whites did it, it wasn't slavery. It was called indentured servants. And you could work your way off for anything that you had the master done. So when they systemized it and they came to blacks, the only reason that they, after the Emancipation Constipation, they were no longer slaves anymore, white America found a way to bring you back into slavery, and they started having vagrancy laws, that if truancy, that if you were walking down the street with white America and you didn't have any money in your pocket, they could put you in jail for vagrancy. And you go to jail, and then they would sell you to one of the farmers for 30 days in jail to work off your debt. What was my debt? So when it became profiting, just like right now, private prisons are making more. I was just reading an article that the private prison sector was suing a state because they wasn't sending enough people to prison to work for them. In California, LensCraft has you get your glasses made, they're being made in Donovan State Prison.
Wow.
Office chairs, different. Now you're working in a prison making $1.65 a day or $1.65 an hour, but actually the state is getting paid $25 an hour for you. Now the state says, well, the other money is every day for us feeding you. So now I'm going to prison. I got to pay for myself. Oh, hell, if I'll ever work.
Room and board.
Room and board.
Room and board.
A lot of guys go to prison and they turn to Muslims. A lot of times, is that protection?
Well, everything is protection. If you
Is that for protection?
If it's for the gang, it's for everybody. Got to be with somebody.
It's a motive.
So no man is a.
You was there before they was even. I mean, you wasn't a Muslim when you first. Yeah, you was a Muslim.
Yes, I was.
Well, then, but a lot of guys come in there. They don't be Muslims. And as soon as they get in there, after time they become Muslim.
Because
Malcolm X.
It's an alternative that shows you something that I was telling. We were talking about it the other day. In the 60s and the 70s, if you had a contract on you or you were dealing with something that you couldn't, whatever it was, come to the nation. We taking all contracts. Anybody after you, that is over when you're with the Nation of Islam. And people knew it because anytime you did something to one Muslim, we killing 6 of y'all.
So the Muslims in prison, you know how you always say if there's a riot or if there's any fights or anything in prison, it all go by color. But if you're a Muslim, you could be black. Muslims aren't only black. You have black.
Well, Nation of Islam Muslims are only black. Well, at the time. Now we got Mexicans and stuff.
I was about to say, if you're Hispanic or any other race, you can't join it?
I guess you could.
You could, but in prison, what I'm getting to is in prison. You said it used to be. It's not like that now. But in prison, if you have people from like Hispanics, white, whoever, that's a part of the nation, when there's a riot, they protect all of them who are Muslim, or it still separates in color.
I couldn't tell you that. I ain't been there. Don't do.
Oh, but so you don't hear about it?
I ain't got a dog in that fight. But I can tell you this: you got blacks in prison that are in Mexican mafia. Okay. They grew up with Mexicans. One of the dudes I was in 1750 with, he was a diehard Mexican,
and they're allowed to join.
And he was allowed to be there, but they end up killing him. You know, because still in all, he wasn't a Mexican. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So you have that one, but it's an anomaly. It ain't something that happens every day. Okay. Because it's hard to be somebody else and hanging. You know, it's like you don't see a sheep hanging with lions. Mm-mm. You know, so to be that sheep, you got to be the most vicious sheep that them lions ever knew.
What's the thing I look at, because we were talking about Max B earlier. When he came home, he got this big welcoming and everybody was having a good time. But you'd have thought Big Meech would have got like this same type of thing and everything would be going, but it seemed a little different. The way it came, it seemed different to me. When I look at it from looking at it, of course, the money was there.
You looking at apples and oranges again, bro. This guy you talking about, you said he was doing records for Jim Jones, right?
Him and Jim Jones did stuff together, and he
did
Prince
a robbery. He was not a gangster.
No.
He went to jail, to prison for doing some idiotic. Well, I don't know what his crime was, but it didn't pay off for him. Because I understand he had a murder and he got it down to 15 years. It ain't for me to talk.
It's a lot of people asking for his paperwork now out of New York.
So now he's out. He's back in his element with the people he rock with. Meech, he ain't got nobody to rock with.
He helped a lot of people, though. He put a lot of people on.
Do you realize you help a lot of people, but if you go down, do you know how many people are going to really want to say that you help them? Every Negro want to be independent.
And they rocking his brand, BMF. Everybody
rocking the brand.
Big me, Larry Hoover.
No, but you see them wearing the merch. They said they're part of the family, all of that.
You hear them say it. But what have they done? Most of the people is faking the funk. Mm-hmm. Most of us is faking. Sound good. I'm with you. But are you really? Me and him discussed earlier about Christianity and the first Christian. Who were the first Christians? Who were the followers of Jesus? The followers of Jesus is the ones that was in the multitude that saw him do the miracles. And when they left, they had the fish around their neck, the fish bones, right? Representing the miracles that Jesus did at the time. When Jesus was assassinated, that they say he was assassinated, they said that he told Peter that he would deny him 3 times before the rooster crowed. First 2 times he said, no, I don't know him. He said, yeah, don't you know him? No, I don't know him. He said, hell no, I don't know him. And everybody that was a follower, they took the fish bones and they knocked all the feathers off the fish bones and made it look like the cross. So what did that represent? I was there and I saw him kill that nigga, and I was right there. It's not for the suffering. It's just like you go to a Luther Vandross concert and you buy a t-shirt, you represent you was there, huh? The people that represent Christianity, if you see most of them that are real Christians, they have the sign of the fish and Jesus inside. It ain't but 2 places you see a cross. In the church and the graveyard, huh? Dead heads and dead spirits. So with that, it's the same way on these streets. We idolize some things. We talk about Big Meech, but ain't nobody standing up with him because 90% of us is broke. We want the brand, But didn't nobody carry on BMF, huh? But your boy, his people kept on
Next
rocking.
beat.
Yeah, his people kept on rocking. When he came in, he had that cradle.
Yeah, he went straight to the Jets game. He was at the game the first day out. He wasn't even out for an hour. He was at the game. On the
game.
On the ground, on the field with him.
So that means he kept associations for 15 years.
Yeah. They said when they talked to him, it seemed like he wasn't even locked up.
You know? You knew it was like he was locked up. yeah, that's a lie.
Oh, have you ever seen somebody come in that just was too weak to make it in prison? When they came, it's like...
Every day.
Like when you seen him, he wasn't going to make it.
He ain't going to make it.
You seen that?
I seen it. White America is weak like that. It's that you see. That's when I realized in San Quentin in 1974 that we was all niggas. I thought one day I would sit up and look, and I said, how would a white man send a white man in this prison knowing we gonna kill him? Knowing it. He's not gonna survive here. And I had to realize that he's just a nigga like us.
Wow.
Yeah, a poor patty don't have nothing to do with the 1%ers. And the only ones mad at us is poor white folks, huh?
Wow.
Because don't nobody want to be a nigga. Don't care what you are. A girl told me they want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues.
Man, boy, that's serious. I guess I'm gonna wrap him up.
Yeah, I got one.
You got one more? Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Patti LaBelle, she was at an event recently. Did you see that?
Yeah, I seen that.
Okay, let me tell you. Let me read this part. It says the event. Where'd it go? Okay, here it is. The event was meant to honor Patti LaBelle for her decades of community work, but instead of delivering a polite acceptance speech, she looked directly at billionaires like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk and said her voice calm but cutting, "If you can spend billions building rockets and metaverses, you can spend millions feeding children. If you call yourself a visionary, prove it, not with money, but with mercy." And it says the ballroom fell silent. Cameras caught Zuckerberg staring at his table, expressionless. But LaBelle didn't stop here. Mm-hmm. She went on to announce that she was donating $8 million from her music and foundations earning to fund housing and mental health programs for struggling families in Philadelphia. Her final words hit like thunder. Greed isn't strength. Compassion is.
Wow.
So what do you say about what she said to these billionaires?
It fell on deaf ears. It was a hell of a speech. Hell of a speech. And Zuckerberg or Elon Musk don't give a fuck. Excuse me for saying this. They moving right on. So we give pretty speeches.
They only care about their money.
And they applaud it and get right on doing. They gave to the March of Dimes, and they gave to the American Way. But a Negro is not worth it, period.
Oh, my God.
And what she said is authentic. But how many black politicians stood behind her today? Now that you read that, how many times did you hear that echo by another? What did Tyler Perry say?
I don't know.
He ain't said shit. What do you mean?
I don't know. He might have.
You'd have heard it, right? You'd have heard it.
He does his donations to helping people.
What people?
She addressed who she needs to address because she probably know that they
She made a statement to white America about black struggle, and they've been knowing it. So, okay, they know, that, and that's the effect of black people. And I can go back to Malcolm X. When Malcolm X was with the Nation of Islam, and he called the white man the devil, black America didn't want to hear that about the good old white man, huh? And the white man didn't care because he knew he was the devil, but he knew you wouldn't believe it, right? When Malcolm X became an enemy of the state, when he said the ballot or the bullet. Now you talking about Negroes uprising, dare to struggle, dare to win. He never said that with the Nation of Islam. So he became an enemy of the state. And it fell on deaf ears. Now you're talking, and if you say, when he left the Nation of Islam, his name was Malik El-Haj Shabazz. If you say that to somebody today, they don't know who you're talking about, huh? Mm-hmm. So the only way that you can give Malcolm X any credit is identify him with the Nation of Islam. Malcolm X, he got that name from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, the man that taught him. He didn't teach the nation. He was a good soldier. But you have no edifice today of the Malcolm X Foundation. In the 60s, they had them everywhere after his death. But the nation is standing and Malcolm's not.
Wow. Man, you know, got to get into this stuff. We're going to wrap it up. Finesse 2 times comes out after getting put back in jail today and said this was a big mistake. He said earlier, this arrest was a big mistake. He says, small walk through 10 hours in and out, big misunderstanding. But I had a few thinking hours, and first thing I thought was, this is a definition of money and peace. Left a legendary interview, and I had to drive 8 hours to turn myself in. And while I went through the process and through the damn 100% money and peace, I believe that if I continue to speak it into the universe, it will come. This is why I can't and won't fail, because I strive for greatness. Keep it real with who you keep it real with. My morals and principles intact, and I'm getting better every day. 100% shout out. What do you think about that?
All right, that's heartfelt. I mean, you know, they say the biggest cure to any disease is recognizing you got the disease. So once you understand what you're going through, you can, our old saying says, a fool trips through life, and a wise man journeys off a fool's trips.
Wow.
So once you realize what has been your pitfalls, you'll understand how to get around them. You got time. You got time.
30, 34, 35. He young man.
He ain't got much time.
OG said he ain't got much time, but he got time.
You got time. I remember a man told me a long time ago when I was 15, Ronald Exum was the first black entrepreneur in Compton to have a store like you have on Compton Boulevard.
Man.
Exum Styles. And I used to do some stuff for Exum. And Exum told me one day, he said, Mark, man, you got a lot going for yourself, but jail ain't it. He said, but if you go there, get something out of it. Just don't go there and doing this camping and digging holes and doing this stuff. Go in there and learn something. That's one thing that white America cannot take from you is your brain. And he said something to me. He said, if you ain't made it by the time you're 40, you need to shoot yourself in the head. And at 15, I couldn't even realize that, right? So in 1982, my sister had gotten killed, and her boyfriend had stabbed her, and his brother was in a prison that I was in. And me and my crew was on the track. And a brother that I used to be in the nation with had chanced over to Orthodox Islam. He said, Mom, we got all this stuff going on. Man, why don't you come over? Man, hold up, bro. He said, well, man, we get ready to do Ramadan. Why don't you come and do Ramadan with us? So I'm like, well, shit, I'm going to kill him today. I can kill him in 30 days, right? So I go in Ramadan, and I started doing this because the Nation of Islam, we did Ramadan in December. We didn't have it this was during June, the hot part, and I didn't know nothing about Orthodox. I didn't know how to speak Arabic. I didn't know the Fatiha. I didn't know this. And so they laughed at me. I was determined to do it. But every day, you read a 30th part of the Quran. And one day we were reading the 30th part of the Quran, and the Quran says that a woman suckles a baby for 36 months, and a man achieves manhood at age 40. And it hit me like, whoa. Exum said that in 1966. I'm hearing it in 82 on some different ears. And I'm looking, when I was 15, 20, I had no stop signs. And I'm getting killed, killing didn't mean nothing to me. But the older I got and the more death I got, the scarier I got. And then when I turned 40 and I was in prison, I panicked. Because the same thing you're doing at 40, you'll be doing the rest of your life. And they had, in San Quentin, they got West Block, Citizens Row. All the old timers can't be on the yard with these young lions. Wow. They put them up somewhere. So at 65, 70 years old, you're in prison. What are you going to do when you get to the street? You're going to add your whole life in incarceration, moving clockwise. Wow. And you get out and people going in different directions.
Wow. Finesse done already did. I think he did like 5 years the first time. So it ain't like he don't know what he up against. You
5 years ain't no time if you ain't got it.
I know it.
Any time's a lifetime, but it's the prison process is so cold. In California, you start off in juvenile hall. When you first get arrested, you go to jail, you cry if you're spending the night in jail. You looking for the boogeyman. Boogeyman don't show up. Then you go to juvenile hall, you have to fight these dudes from LA. I don't never want to go back to jail. And you go back. Then you go to camp. And you go through another process, and it's just building you. Then you go to youth authority. And now when you go to youth authority, children are the most vicious it is. You go in a society which everybody want to be a man. Everybody got something to prove. They taking from you, they doing you, they bullying you. And when you can last through that, you can make it. Now, remember a man told me one time in juvenile hall, he says, I was right here where y'all was. And I was started in TMV Juvenile Hall. I went to camp. I went to I'm in San Quentin right now. And if y'all came to San Quentin, somebody would be having sex with you and you'd be washing their drawers. And I was scared as hell. Oh, and then I thought about it. I'm tough as him. And when I caught my case in youth authority and I went to San Quentin, I looked for Billy Jackson. Where Billy Jackson at? I said, Billy Jackson right there. He said, man, what? I said, you don't remember me, bro? He said, remember you, man. What do you mean? I said, remember you came with that prison preventers? He said, oh, man. Now, I said, well, I just came here to find out from you. Who had sex with you? Oh, boy, man. Sometimes we accept them challenges.
Oh, gee, you something else,
Negative
man.
challenges. I didn't have to go through that. I didn't have to go, but that man put it on me that I couldn't be a man unless I did what he did.
Wow. That's crazy.
And that's what they do now. Here, man, these OGs is telling you they OGs. Half of these Negroes ain't done a portion of the shit that they claim that they putting young kids to do.
Wow. Wow.
Tell the truth.
Wow. Okay. Something else I got to ask you about. Cause
I thought we was over with something else. You ain't fed me yet.
The topics, I got to hit them before we get out of here.
Mr. Jamaican, you got to make some Jamaican jerk chicken and everything for this part right here.
David is being D4VD he's been named as a suspect. He's one that they looking at now to say that he basically is one of interest for this young lady's, this little girl's death. Why do you think it took him so long, and do you think he'll be arrested?
He's a young black boy that is probably the likely suspect. Now they're saying that she had been dead months before she was found. So they're going to conveniently find footage to put him in an area that can tie him to the situation. They saying he's not being cooperative. You got the right to remain silent. What I gotta say, I didn't do it.
Do he got action at beating it?
You never have action at beating it once they arrest you. You got public sentiment of a little clear person. She wasn't white, but and everybody is crying their heart out. So they're looking for a scapegoat. And David is bigger than life. Well, why did he put all the property in his mother's name?
That's what they asked.
Well, Negroes do that. I got everything in my mama's name.
But that's all right, because I'm still fly.
So that's just like, people telling you as a black man, if you didn't do nothing, why'd you run? That's what we do. Whether I'm innocent or not, you think I'm going to stop and try to prove to you? They say in the old days, the catching come before the hanging.
Wow.
So, I don't feel bad for David, because that's his business. He should have been more in tune with the people he dealt with, So it's something that we always try to get light bright when we think that that's a ticket to stardom, or that's our validation to being an American.
Wow, I got to show you this.
I'm saying that because I love the people I make crimes with. I love the people to the point where I knew without them that none of the shit would be possible. And I didn't believe that they would be capable of sleeping with the person I was with, taking the amount of money that they would. I knew there was gang affiliation, splits, and I knew that, they were going to be crime. But I didn't feel like my own friend that I gave $30,000, $90,000 to would kidnap me. And I miss some of the people on there because they were good people to me, but...
If your people didn't do you wrong, would you have snitched?
No. And I'm saying that because I love the people I make crimes with. I love the people to the point where I knew without them that none of the shit would be possible. And I didn't.
So, do you believe if he would have snitched?
Huh?
He said he wouldn't have snitched if.
I knew there was a gang affiliation.
So he basically crying his heart out.
Yeah, he said he.
No.
If your people didn't do you wrong, would you have snitched?
If those people didn't do him wrong, would he have snitched?
How did they do him wrong?
He said they messed with his girl.
Okay. Well, if you mess with my girl and mess with your girl back, I don't send 30 of y'all to prison. 30 of them mess with his girl. So, excuses are tools to build a monument of nothing. And nothing from nothing leaves nothing. You snitched. You're a rat.
So Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's saying that basically he would not have told it. He would have basically, if they didn't do him wrong, he wouldn't have told it. They messed with his girl, and that's the only reason he say he miss him. He say he miss him, and he hate that happened that way.
Okay. But it did happen. Okay. So we go again with the rose and the thorns.
Another, just on 6ix9ine, and this is the last thing I'm going to ask. Mother gets held at gunpoint by some guys that intruded into their home. Wait a minute, let me finish.
Don't say that.
Yeah, some guys that intruded into his home. You was on the review with me, and you said, and I didn't notice at first, but the dog wasn't too alarmed. Do you feel like this was staged, or do you feel like this was a legitimate deal that happened to Tekashi 6ix9ine?
It's the same thing that you just said about that fake apology and how he loved his homies so much. And if they had, we have a code called bros over hoes. So she wasn't violated, she wasn't raped and tortured or nothing. If somebody did it to her, you cannot rape the willing. So the same thing. He is. We got 3 people that's dynamic for making sympathy or causing conversation. Rat 100. He has all kind of antics that he do. Pay stunt men. Then you got Jimmy the Cricket, Charlie White. You understand me? And now you got this boy, 6ix9ine.
He was the first.
He was better than both of them. He's better than both of them because of his complexion. And just because of his, if he hadn't have been the color he wouldn't have been able to testify against the 9 Trey Bloods and get away with it.
Wow. Man, there you have it. There you have it, man. Thank you so much, OG, man. How can people get a hold to you if they're trying to, reach out?
Man, hit me on Boss Talk 101.
Gotta call him through the app.
Email me, C-mail me, Gmail me. Get me at Marvin Kinsey on Facebook. Ayatollah Marv on IG. Pottsgrove Farms rules the world.
Man, I hope we did you justice, man. We love you, OG. You our partner. You always come through and show us love, and we ain't gonna never rock without you. You my guy. Period.
You heard that American say never. Never's a strong word.
I'm telling you.
He trying to replace me with UFO right now.
Now UFO riding, but UFO ain't no, he ain't got no voice. UFO, that's my guy. Y'all check his articles out because they go hard. They go hard now.
They just little.
Watch out. Boss Talk 101, man. Listen what a boss is talk.
And we out.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle, big